Good evening, everyone. I am CM Rajput, the moderator of this webinar. We are delighted to welcome you all to this webinar organized by Continuing Professional Education Committee of ICAI CPE Committee. It's my pleasure to serve as a moderator for this event, new assessment procedure for search and seizure cases, and use of artificial intelligence for CS. In short while, we are going to start our session. First of all, I would like to familiarize you with the CPE committee. The chartered accountancy profession is growing rapidly and has become essential in every business as well as for the economy. ICI aims to equip its members with the knowledge edge to meet the expectations from the society. The CPE committee works tirelessly to upload excellence, integrity, and knowledge, making chartered accountants synonymous with quality service. It actively addresses members' needs of members by providing modern knowledge and skills through well-organized CPE programs and opportunities. The program for this evening is as follows. We have two sessions today, each lasting 1 hour. The topics for today's session are new assessment procedure for search and seizure cases, and second, use of artificial intelligence for chartered accountants. Our eminent speakers will discuss about the same in English language as we have people all across the globe. So, first of all, I'll introduce our first speaker for today, CA Hari Agarwal sir, a renowned expert in survey, search, and seizure cases under direct taxes with over 30 years of experience. He has presented more than 150 papers in seminars, contributed monthly column on survey, search, and seizure update for over 25 years, and even co-authored the book named Taxpayers' Practical Guide to Survey under Income Tax Act 1961. He has also delivered talks on seminars, and webinars hosted by taxmen, trade associations, and on the platforms like Doordarshan and All India Radio. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Hope I am audible to everyone. Huh? The screen is also clearly visible?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, right. You can go.
Good afternoon, friends. Today I will be dealing with the new assessment procedures for search and seizure cases, which are made applicable with effect from 1st September 2024. It is contained in Chapter 14B of the Income Tax Act 1961. While dealing with the new assessment procedures for such cases, I will be dealing only with the present law. That is for two reasons. One reason is my presentation, if it is get restricted if it is get completed within the time allotted, it will be fine. And second thing is that it will avoid confusion, because if I deal with the old procedures and new procedures, it will take more time and it may lead to some confusion also. So for the present, I will be dealing with only the new assessment procedures of such cases which are made applicable from 1st September 2024. Now, during my presentation, I will be dealing with these topics. I will be dealing with section 158B definitions, then assessment of total income as a result of search, then computation of total income under block period, then what is the procedure for block assessments, and what is in detail undisclosed income of any other person other than who has been searched, and what is the time limit for completion of block assessments, and certain penalties and interest when it is imposed, when it is not imposed, and authority competent to make the assessment of block period, and what are the other provisions applicable under this act, and where this chapter 14B is not applicable. While dealing with these things, you may have several doubts. So you can put it in the chat box. I will take up your queries at the appropriate time. Right? Now, coming to definitions, I will be dealing with only the important definitions here. Now, what is block period? Block period is defined as 6 assessment years preceding the previous year in which the search was initiated. 6 assessment years preceding the previous year in which the search was initiated, and it shall also include the period starting from first day of April of the previous year in which search was initiated, and it will end on the date of execution of last of the authorizations of such warrant. Now, when I am dealing with this, I repeat that I am not dealing with the earlier provisions, because some of the changes which though it looks similar to what was the block assessment procedures introduced in the year 1997, but there are few important changes made, so that is to be properly noticed. So the search assessment in the current year, it will be concluded till the execution of last date of authorizations of such search execution of. Now, this I am explaining with an way of an example. Now, suppose the date of search is 15th September 2024, and the date of execution of last warrant of authorization was 10th November 2024. As we all know that search will, once commenced, should get concluded within 60 days. So that is why I have taken 55 days here, because most of the time the search will get concluded between the last authorization will be executed between 50 to 60 days. So I have taken the example looking at the practical side of the thing. Now, suppose the date of execution of search is 15 September 2024, and the date of execution of last warrant of authorization was 10/11/2024, then the block period will consist of like this. Block period will consist of this 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This 6 assessment years preceding the previous year in which this last search was conducted. Now, the plus this period 1/4/2024 to 10/11/2024, not 15/9. It is up to 10/11/2024. From 1/4/2024 to 10/11/2024, plus these 6 assessment years, like from 1/4/2018 onwards till the 10/11/2024. Now, what is undisclosed income? Undisclosed income here includes any undisclosed money, bullion, jewelry, or other valuable article or thing. Money, bullion, jewelry, or other valuable article or thing, or any incorrect expenditure. Any expenditure which has been claimed which is not correct, any incorrect deduction which is claimed and not correct, or any allowance which is claimed and not correct. So this is also part of undisclosed income. Or further, any undisclosed income based on any entry in the books of accounts. If there is any wrong entry in the books of accounts, then also it will become a undisclosed income for the purpose of block assessment. Now, further, any document or transaction which represents undisclosed income or property. Any document found, or any transactions found, or any notings found, that which represent, this also represents undisclosed income of property which is not disclosed to the income tax department. Now, assessment of total income as a result of search. The assessing officer shall assess the total income of the assessee, including the undisclosed income. Right? The total income, the regular income plus undisclosed income will be the total income. For that, the assessment will be done. So, as I discussed earlier, it will include any money, bullion, jewelry, or other valuable article or thing, or any expenditure or income based on any entry in the books of accounts or other documents or transactions, or any expenses deduction or allowance claimed under the act which is found to be incorrect. All these things are assessed by the assessing officer under undisclosed income. Now, an important thing is that whenever a search is conducted, the pending regular assessments will get abated. If any regular assessment is pending under 143(3) or 147, that will, if it is not completed, if it is pending as on the date of search, conducting of search, it will get abated. It cannot be proceed further. As on the date of conducting of search, automatically it gets abated. Now, where any assessment under the provisions of this chapter is pending, in this case of an assessee, in whose case a subsequent search is initiated, such search assessment shall be duly completed. Right. Now, suppose the search is conducted in the year 2023 in the case of an assessee, for which the assessment is pending. And then again, second search is conducted in 2024. Then in that case, the previous search assessment, which is pending on the date of conducting of the second search, will not get abated. That assessment will get completed first, then the second assessment will be taken up. Now, the assessment which was pending for the search conducted in the year 2023 will be conducted first. Then the search assessments which will be which is arising consequent to the search conducted in 2024 will be taken up. So previous search assessment will not get abated. Now, if any proceedings initiated under this chapter or any order of assessment or reassessment made under clause 158 BC has been annulled in appeal or any other legal proceedings, then notwithstanding anything contained in this chapter or 153 section, the assessment or reassessment relating to any such assessment here which has abated under section so and so shall revive with effect from the date of receipt of the order of annulment by the commissioner. Now, what does it mean? It means that if by any proceedings the search assessments gets annulled, then the assessments which got abated, the regular assessments as I discussed earlier, 143(3) and 147, whatever with this old assessments which were got abated consequent to conduct of search will get revived. Right? Now suppose the search assessment which got annulled and again in the further appeals the annulment is set aside, then again the previous regular assessments will get abated. What I mean to say is that in any situation, one of the assessment will live. One assessment is dying, the other assessment will be, once the other assessment search is conducted, the regular assessment will die. Once the search assessments gets annulled, previous regular assessments will get rebirth. Then again, if the search assessments annulment is set aside, then again the regular assessments will get abated. In any situation, at any point of time, one of the assessments will be live. Now, the total income other than the undisclosed income of the assessment year relevant to the previous year in which the last of the authorization for search is executed shall be assessed separately. Now, there will be regular income and undisclosed income for the year in which the search is conducted. So, the regular income will be assessed separately and the undisclosed income will be assessed separately in which the previous year in which the search was conducted. Now, what is the rate of tax? Now, rate of tax in case of search assessments, block assessments for the undisclosed income will be 60% as per section 113. Now, there is a provision of charging of surcharge also, but presently there is no surcharge proposed for block assessment. So the tax rate is 60%, no surcharge at present. Means surcharge is nil. Now computation of total income of block period. Now undisclosed income shall be computed in accordance with the provisions of this act on the basis of evidence found as a result of search. Whenever the search is conducted, whatever evidence is found as a result of search or as a result of survey which is conducted in consequence of search. Now, sometimes whenever the search is conducted at few premises like residential premises and some other premises, but at business premises, sometimes instead of search, survey is conducted simultaneously. Now, those income, the undisclosed income found consequence of such survey, during the survey, consequence of search also will be treated as undisclosed income. So I repeat again that the income found, evidence found as a result of search or survey in consequence of search will be treated as undisclosed income. And if the evidence found on the basis of materials or information as are either available with the assessing officer or come to his notice by means of during the course of proceedings under the said chapter, means chapter 14B. All these income will be treated as undisclosed income and will be computed as undisclosed income. Now, there is another important thing. Now, as I am repeating that because I am not dealing with other old provisions, I am dealing with the current provisions here, what are contained in this chapter. Now, if the disclosed income in respect of any previous year comprising the block period or the returned income of the assessed income is a loss, it shall be ignored. Loss will not be allowed to set off against the undisclosed income. Now, what happens to the brought forward loss? Brought forward losses or unabsorbed depreciation also will not be allowed to be set off against the undisclosed income. Undisclosed income, whatever undisclosed income is found, no opportunity is there to the assessee to set up the current year loss or adjust the brought forward loss either arising from business or unabsorbed depreciation. That will also not be allowed to set off. But the same losses can be allowed to be carried forward for being set off in the subsequent years. It is not that it will be lost forever. So it will be allowed to be set off in the subsequent years, but it will not be allowed to be set off in the block assessment against the undisclosed income. Now, what is the procedure for block assessment? If there is any question, it can be put in chat box, right? Now, where any search has been initiated, the assessing officer shall issue a notice to such person requiring him to furnish within such period not exceeding a period of 60 days. Now, after the search is conducted, the assessing officer has to issue a notice to the assessee asking him to furnish the return and giving some such time, but the time allowed to furnish the return, it should not exceed 60 days. There is no minimum time given in this chapter for giving the time to the assessee to file the return. Maximum time is allowed is 60 days, right? And it should be filed in the form and in the prescribed form in the prescribed manner, setting forth his income from undisclosed income, including the undisclosed income. New, as earlier in the 97 block assessments case, a new form will be prescribed and assessee has to file return of income under the new form which contains disclosed and undisclosed income totally for the block period, and there will be one assessment, one return form for the block period. So that is to be filed within the allotted time. The filing of return within the allotted time is very important. I will deal in my subsequent slides why it is very important. But for the present, I am saying it is very important to adhere to the date of filing the return specified in the notice. If the return is filed under within the stipulated time, the return filed shall be treated as filed under section 139. It will be treated as filed under section 139, and consequently notice under 143(2) has to be issued by the assessing officer before taking up for the assessment. So it will be treated as a return filed under 139. If the return is furnished beyond the period allowed under this notice issued by the assessing officer, it will not be deemed to be filed under 139. So there is a lot of difference under both the situations, which I also said that I will be dealing in the subsequent slides. Now, in respect of block assessments, notice under section 148 is not required to be issued. Notice under 158 BC or 158 BD is enough. No notice is required to be issued under 148, even for the early years, because this is a block assessment, right? And the assessee is not allowed to file a revised return. So we have to be very careful when filing the return of income under block assessment. So the return is to be filed very carefully, because there is no provision to allow the assessees to file a revised return. Now the provisions of 142(2) and 142 and 143(2), 143(3), 144, 145, 145A and 145B shall also be applicable so far as it is contained in the respective sections. Even in case of block assessments, whenever the assessment proceedings are going on, all these sections relating to the sections mentioned in these slides are also applicable. It has to be followed. Now, when the return is filed for the block assessment, there is no requirement of processing the return under 143(1). There is no requirement to process the return under 143(1). Further, the assessments under the block assessments for such cases will not be covered under faceless assessments scheme. It will be done physical. The provisions of 144C are not applicable, which relates to faceless assessment. So all the assessments of the search cases will be done in the physical form. Undisclosed income of any other person. Undisclosed income of any other person. Now, who is the any other person? Now, suppose the search is conducted in case of A and material relating to B is found, or assets relating to B is found, or any undisclosed income defined earlier relating to B is found in the premises of A. So B will be any other person for the purpose of this chapter. A will be the person who has been searched. He will be covered under 158 BC, and the any other person B will be covered under section 158 BD. Now here also there is some the Act has taken proper care by using the appropriate words to see that it should not get misused by the assessee by just technically interpreting the meaning of certain words. So here, where the assessing officer is satisfied that any undisclosed income belongs to, or pertains to, or relates to, belongs to, or pertains to, or relates to. So these words have been included to give a wide coverage and wide meaning, to see that nothing should go out of the purview of the Act by getting it not assessed as undisclosed income. So that is why broadly, to cover it in all respects, these words have been used: belongs to, or pertains to, or relates to any person other than the person with respect to whom search was made, then any money, bullion, jewelry, or valuable article or things, or assets, or expenditure, books of accounts, documents, or any information contained therein, seized or requisitioned, shall be handed over to the assessing officer having jurisdiction over such person. So whenever assessing officer of A finds this material, he should give to the jurisdictional officer of B all this material to B. Generally, what happens, by way of centralizing, if it is within the same city, the cases will be centralized with the same assessing officer by way of notification certain this order. Then if it is in other city, it will be passed on to that jurisdictional assessing officer. So either the jurisdictional assessing officer or central circle of that particular station will take up the case, and the assessing officer of B shall proceed under section 158 BC against such other person, and the provision of such said chapter shall apply. So once the case gets covered under 158 BD, like in case of B, all the provisions of 158 BC are made applicable, and the procedures required to be followed under 158 BC are again required to be followed under the cases in the case of B. Now, what is the time limit for completion of block assessment under 158 BE? Now, the time limit will be in case of searched person, searched assessee, say A in our example, it will be 12 months from the end of the month in which the last of the authorization of search was executed. So now, suppose as we have taken the earlier example, the date of execution of last warrant of authorization is 10th November 2024. So the last date of completion of search assessment will be 30th November 2025. 12 months from the end of the month in which the last of the authorizations was executed. Now, these assessments will not have any, the time limit will not have any connection with 31st December, 30th September, or 31st March. Every case will have a different time barring depending upon the date of execution of last warrant of authorization. So this is important to get noted. Now, what is the time limit of completion in case of B? Now, in case of B, it will be 12 months from the end of the month in which the notice under section 158 BC in pursuance of BD was issued to some person. After the end of the month in which the notice was issued. Now, suppose the date of issue of notice for B is 5/1/2025, right? So, the last date of completion of a search assessment will be 31/1/2026. Now, here again, it is relevant to the date of serving of the notice, 12 months. No relevance with the 31st March or 30th September or so. Now, the last date of completion of search assessment in case of 158 BD cases like B shall be extended, can be extended for a period of 180 days, that is maximum. Now, whenever the situation is so required, it may get extended to some period, but that period of extension should not be more than 180 days. So, there is a leverage here because depending upon the situation, the time may get extended, but maximum time of extension allowed for last date of completion of assessment is 180 days. So 12 months plus 6 months, 18 months. Now we will deal with certain interest and penalties which are not to be levied or imposed under 158 BF. Now, no interest under provisions of 234A, 234B, or 234C is leviable. As I said earlier, the tax rate is 60%. No interest is leviable under 234A, B, C for any of the assessment year contained in the block period. Now, suppose it is a sixth preceding year also, the tax rate will be 60% and no interest under 234 ABC. even if the return is not originally filed or advance tax is not paid. So the interest is not chargeable. Only the maximum rate of 60% is chargeable for any year. Let it be the current year of undisclosed income or the undisclosed income of any of the previous year, going up to sixth year also. The tax rate is same 60%. No interest is chargeable and no penalty is also chargeable. Penalty is also not chargeable. Section 270A penalty is also not chargeable, not leviable. Now, but there are certain cases where the interest and penalty is leviable. We will deal with those cases now. Now, where the return of total income of the undisclosed income of the block period is not furnished within the time specified in the notice. This I was referring when I was dealing with the importance of filing the return within the stipulated time. So, where the return of income is not filed within the specified time in the notice, or it is not furnished. Either it is not furnished or it is furnished late. Suppose the time is given for 30 days. If it is not furnished, or if it is furnished, not furnished within 30 days, if it is furnished on 31st day also, not within 30 days, then the following consequences will apply. The assessee shall be liable to pay simple interest at the rate of 1.5%. It is 1.5% per month. 1.5% per month, and it starts from the day immediately following the expiry of time specified in the notice, and it will end on the date of completion of assessment. So there will be very heavy burden of interest on the assessee if the return is not filed within the stipulated time. So that is very important, that the return is to be filed within the stipulated time. And as I said earlier, there is no time limit for the stipulated time, minimum time. The minimum time can be given for 7 days also by the assessing officer, though it is not in the interest of natural justice to give shorter time, but the law does not specify the minimum time. So it is very important to see that the filing of return is to be done in the stipulated time. Now, other than interest, what are the consequences if the return is not filed in the stipulated time? Then the further the assessing officer may direct a penalty which is equal to 50% of tax of undisclosed income. Apart from the interest, the penalty can also be levied up to 50%. Not up to 50%. 50% of the tax on the undisclosed income, the penalty can also be levied. So, if the return is not filed, interest can be levied at 1.5% per month and penalty at the rate of 50% of the tax in respect of undisclosed income determined by the assessing officer. Now, suppose the undisclosed income is returned by the assessee is 100 rupees. Now, the undisclosed income determined by the assessing officer is suppose 120 rupees. So, on 20 rupees, again the penalty will be charged, right? In case the return is filed in time. If the return is not filed in time, the penalty can be levied for 120 rupees, 50% of 120, or that means up to 60 rupees penalty can be levied. So this is important for filing the return of income. Anybody can ask anything if the point is not clear.
Sir, there are two questions.
Yes, you can just tell me so that we
Shall
will have an
I
interactive.
tell you now or after the session?
No, you can tell me so that we will have interactive session. You can put it in chat box. I will read it.
Sure.
Huh? You can put
But
it in chat box so that
I'll,
we can have an interactive session.
okay, sir, I'll put it.
Yes. Now, provided that no order of imposing penalty under BFA will be levied, and section 271D, 271AAD, 271DA, 271E, which relates to penalty for false entry, 269SS loans or accepting loans, repayment of loans, making cash payment, these penalties also will not be levied. When it will not be levied? not only this 277 capital A or interest, all these penalties will also not be levied. When it will not be levied, if the such person has furnished a return within the time specified. Now again you see that so many benefits are there if the return is filed in time. Huh? All penalties will go. Only tax at the rate of 60% will be levied, and no penalty is leviable when the return is filed in the specified time, and the tax payable on such return is either paid, or if there is a seizure of cash, a request has been made to adjust the money so seized against the tax payable. Then evidence of tax paid is furnished along with the return and the appeal is not filed. So if these four conditions are fulfilled, we have to ensure that if the four conditions are fulfilled, then there will not be any penalty under the specified sections of the act. Practically, it will be no penalty case. So only 60%. So imagine a situation where 6 years back, assessee has taken heavy loans where this all these penal provisions are in cash, penal provisions are applicable. All everything will get solved by just paying 60%. So and filing the return within correct return within the specified time. I will take to the one or two questions which are given to me. What is the meaning of last warrant of authorization? Last warrant of authorization means now when the search is conducted on the first day, warrant will be issued in the name of the assessee in whose case the search is conducted. Now the search can be continued maximum up to 60 days. Now during the period of 60 days, many a times whenever the department requires, they can visit the premises of the assessee by issuing a warrant of authorization. So it can be more than one time up within the 60 days when the warrant will be issued, and the last warrant can be issued within 60 days. So sometimes, mostly some 3-4 times the department visits the premises of the assessee. Now suppose there are heavy means huge material and jewelry which requires to be valued again, and which there is a incriminating material in huge quantity which required to be examined, and there is no clarity on the date of search to the department officers whether to seize it or not to seize it. So they will put it under prohibitory order. That prohibitory order can remain only up to 60 days. So during that period, they will go to the premises of the assessee by executing a warrant of authorization. So this finally, then the final warrant of authorization is executed. That is the date, and that is the meaning of execution of last warrant of authorization. Now, is 60% tax related to undisclosed income only or for total income, including? No, it relates to only undisclosed income, because because the written form is not, I have not included here. There will be 2 columns for each year: disclosed income, undisclosed income, total income in the written form. So undisclosed income will get at 60%. Regular income will get taxed at regular income. So it will be only on undisclosed income. Now, section B 158 BFA, levy of interest and penalty is optional or compulsory. Now, levy of interest and penalty is both, it's not, it is either this way or that way. It's not optional. If the return is filed, if the conditions are this, the present slide, whatever conditions are there in the present slide number 35, I hope the committee can circulate this PPT also to the members who are interested in this. So on this 35 number slides, what are the conditions I have specified? If these conditions are fulfilled, the assessing officer does not have power to levy the penalty. If any of one of the condition is not fulfilled, he will compulsory levy the penalty. Right? All the 4 conditions are to be satisfied simultaneously. Not simultaneously. Sometimes it is not simultaneously. Now, filing of return is at one time. Then tax payment is along with that return. evidence is along with that return, then appeal is after the assessment is made. After the assessment is made, there is a time for 30 days for filing the appeal. So 1 to 3 point can be treated as simultaneous, but point number 4 can be treated, it is not simultaneous. But it is important that all the 4 conditions are to be fulfilled to avoid the interest and penalty. Right. Now, when the undisclosed income determined by the assessing officer is in excess of the income shown in the return, the penalty imposed can be imposed only on that portion of the income, undisclosed income, which is in excess of the amount shown in the return. So, as I said earlier, that if the return in undisclosed income is 100 rupees and if the assessed undisclosed income is 120, penalty can be imposed on only on 20 rupees, not on 120 rupees. Now, this penalty on 20 rupees is even if these 4 conditions are satisfied. Even if these 4 conditions are satisfied and even if the assessment is made in excess of what is written, then the penalty is leviable for 20 rupees excess portion. Now, who is the authority competent to make the assessment for the block period? Now, the assessing officer not below the rank of deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner or deputy director or assistant director. Now, here the ITOs are not permitted to make the assessments. The assessments can be made by the assistant commissioner, deputy commissioner or officers above assistant commissioner. So, these are the authorities. Now, previous approval of the additional commissioner is required here at 2 stages, right? This is also different from earlier this thing. I am not repeating that. The approval is required of the additional commissioner at 2 stages. First, at the stage when the notice is issued. Second, at the stage when the assessment order is passed. At both the stages, the approval, previous approval of additional commissioner is required to be taken by the assessing officer. I will take 1 or 2 questions again. Now, how the undisclosed income is calculated for the year during which the search is conducted, since the return might not have been filed? What will be the basis for determining undisclosed income? Now, here the undisclosed income, I have taken a detailed definition earlier. No, any money, bullion, jewelry, any deduction which is wrongly claimed, any allowance which is wrongly claimed, and any income which is not disclosed to the department will be treated as undisclosed income. There will not be any problem. If time permits, I will elaborate on this after this time, because it is already 3:45. But if the querist has any further thing to discuss in detail, he can just get in touch with me afterwards also, or today also, if time permits, I will elaborate. But it will be during the year also, there will be several things which can easily be found out whether it is undisclosed income or disclosed income. The incrementing material, if it is there in the books of accounts, it is a disclosed income. If the entries are not in the books of accounts, it is a undisclosed income. So it is not difficult. Now, interest is liable to pay on regular disclosed income. As no interest on undisclosed income, request elaborate regular income tax. Interest is liable to pay on regular disclosed income. Yes, interest is liable to be paid on regular disclosed income, and no interest on undisclosed income. Yes, no interest. Tax will be at 60% in case of undisclosed income. In case of disclosed income, tax will be liable at the regular rate plus interest will be there. There will be 2 separate computations, and for the calculation of tax for disclosed income and undisclosed income. This also, if you ask specifically, I will elaborate after this, my question, my presentation. Now, applications of other provisions of this act. Now, these are the sections which I have dealt with which are contained in this chapter will be applicable, plus if nothing is specified in this chapter, all other provisions of this act shall also apply for the assessments made under this chapter, except the sections which are referred in this chapter in the specific manner. All other provisions of this act shall apply to the assessment made under this chapter. Now, what what situations it will not be applicable? Now, the provisions of this chapter shall not apply when the search was initiated before first day of September 2024. This also I have discussed early. So, whenever I am dealing with section 132, at all places it applies to section 132A also, where in situation where the assets are requisitioned or documents are requisitioned by the department from other department. So whenever I have referred as conduct of search under 132, it also meant to refer 132A. So cases of 132 covered under 132 and 132A before 1st September are not covered here. So with this, my the whatever presentation I planned is covered. I will again recap by this slide. Now here the tax is at the rate of 60%. There is no surcharge as present, no interest, penalty if income declared in block period, no penalty. Penalty if income not declared in block period, 50% of tax on undisclosed income. Penalty for cash transactions subject to conditions nil, prosecution nil. Now, if the assessee is complying with the filing of return and paying proper tax, in spite of getting searched, he can get out of the situation by paying just 60% of tax, interest, and penalty. We have seen several cases, especially for the assessment year 17, 18 demonetization cases, that where the tax rate is levied under 115 double BE, which is going up to 75%, and 6% penalty, 84% surcharge, including surcharge and other thing. And in case of such, it was going up to 139% also. 109 and 139 also in certain cases. Now everything has gone now. Now everything has got at clubbed at 60%. In some cases, the regular assessment, the assessees who are getting assessed under regular assessment will be liable to pay more, and the assessee who are getting assessed under search assessment will be liable to pay less. That is 60% for all the 6 years preceding the year in which the search is conducted, plus the year of search. So, in a certain situation, the conducting of search and assessment getting for the search cases is getting beneficial to the assessee. So, this is the brief applicability of sections. Now, further, if there are any other questions, or you can just tell me, I will elaborate with whatever I have discussed earlier. I will just see this. Now, any other questions are there? It is okay.
There is just one question, sir.
Yes, one. Is there any mechanism that allows payment of tax on undisclosed income? No. No, that see, those benefit which are given will not be allowed. So the conditions which I have told in that slide, that 4 conditions that are to be fulfilled. See, Amanji, we will be sharing this PPT to the participants.
Sure, sir.
No, acha, acha, acha.
Sure, sir. And sure.
No, this PPT what I have discussed now, no, this PPT will be shared to the participants.
Not aware about that. Maybe
Not
it will be
aware.
shared.
See, I don't have any problem if it is shared to them, huh? Just because some of the contents are very useful for their future reference. So this question also I have dealt with in a particular slide, right? So if those conditions are fulfilled, then only there is a immunity from penalty. So there is no mechanism for payment of tax on undisclosed income in installments.
One
Right?
question is how a CA has to
Uh,
quote his fees for this handling search cases.
Now
How
see,
much?
our institute has given a guidelines where the recommended of scale of fees is also given. There is good with the good description, these things are given, but there also the institute has given note that depending upon the complexity of the case, the fees can be charged. It is not fixed. First is that is the minimum recommended scale of minimum fees. Then second, depending upon the complexity of each case, the fees can be depending upon the time involved, effort involved, complexity of the case, effort involved by the principal, time involved of the principal, location of the department. So many other factors are there. But the fees will be much higher than the regular assessment. It will be much higher, many times more than the regular assessments. Right. Anything else? Some question was there. No, I told that I will elaborate. There was a question then how the undisclosed income is calculated for the year during which the search is conducted. Since the return might not have been filed. Now, as far as the year till the time the return is filed, there is a clarity whether the income found consequent to the assets or income or entries found consequent to the search are disclosed to the department or not. To that extent, it is clear. As far as current year is concerned, now suppose the assessee is in a business, is maintaining books of accounts. Now certain information is found on the incriminating document, notings on some pieces of paper. Those are not forming part of his regular books of accounts. So that will be undisclosed income. Certain assets are found in the business premises, in the residential premises, or any other premises of the searched person. Then those assets or documents, contents of the documents are not disclosed to the department before the conduct of search. Then it will be undisclosed income. Right? I think we have covered all the questions also. We have covered all the questions also. Right?
We received one more question
Yes, you can put.
on
No problem.
WhatsApp on this.
Yes, put it. I found one question. A person has filed his IT return. Later on, department found out huge money deposited, crores. They sent notice for clarification. Will this attract search and seizure? Now, my practical experience says that if there is no, I assume that the person has given the reply to the department, and if the reply is given and the reply is satisfactory in the sense that the source of cash deposit, money deposited, is reflected in the return of income, then there is no problem. Just after verification, they can just keep quiet. But if it is not shown to the department earlier, then there will be definitely there is a chance that the search will get attracted. So this is a one of the way how the department gets the information through direct information, indirect information, and then the cases will be selected for search. So this is a, in all probability, if it is not disclosed income, then it may attract the conduct of search. Now, is only one return to be filed for block period and which form? Yes, It is one written only is to be filed for block period, and the written form also will be separate. It is not the regular written of form, and it will be separate written of form. I have not come across till this time the return of block period, but I can recollect the return which was specified in 1997, that it was for block period. Now it can be filed manually or electronically. Earlier at that time that was manually only. By now I feel that it may be electronically, but the assessment will be done physically. The filing will be electronically, I assume. The filing, because now everything is electronically getting filed only. The filing of return will be electronically only, and but the assessment will be conducted physically. It will not be faceless. Presently also the search assessments are physical only, and the search appeals are also physical only, not faceless. So the assessment of such cases will also be physical.
So we'll take last question of this evening.
Yes, yes.
From what stage of a search and up to when a CA will be involved in search cases by client?
No, this question I was expecting, because every time whenever I'm speaking to chartered accountant, the seminar or webinar will not get completed by explaining about this question. Now, see, presence of chartered accountant. When it comes to presence of chartered accountant, everybody asks whether chartered accountant. See, I'll just 2 minutes. I'll demonstrate the whole thing. Now, when the search is conducted or the survey is conducted, whether the chartered accountant is allowed to be present or not, whether the chartered accountant, if allowed, should be present or not. Now, whether the first question, that whether the chartered accountant is allowed to be present or not, as per law, there is no restriction on entry, exit, or presence of any person in survey or search. So, the chartered accountant or any other person has all the right to be present. But whether the officer will allow it or not allow it will depend upon the physical situation. Law is one thing, and what happens physically during this practically during the conduct of search is different. So there is, as per law, there is no restriction on entry, exit, and presence of any person, including the chartered accountant. Practically what happens, as I said, cannot be, it can be different. Now next, whether a chartered accountant should be present or not, what, in short, I can say that a chartered accountant should be available to the assessee at the nearest place or at his office. Whenever after the search or survey is conducted, the stock inventory will be taken up, and the time will come to reconcile the stock inventory with the books of accounts. Now, suppose in the example I have taken, the search is conducted in September, and the stock is to be arrived on the date of 15th September. So, from 1st April 2024 to 15th September, 14th September 2024, the stock as per books is to be arrived and physical inventory is to be arrived, and both are to be reconciled. So then only we can find out if there is any excess or shortage of stock. So at the time of reconciliation, the officer will also need the presence of chartered accountant. So chartered accountant is, it is good that the chartered accountant visits the client's place at that time. And another precaution what a chartered accountant should remember to be taken is, he can be an observer to the proceedings, but he should not interfere with the proceedings. He should not try to have eye contact, or he should not try to interrupt when the statement is recorded or when the search proceedings or survey proceedings are going on. So this is not acceptable on the part of the chartered accountant or any other person. So I can elaborate more also on this, but the time is already over, and I always see that I should restrict with the available time. So I will stop it for the present now, and anybody can ask me anything in future. My mail ID and phone numbers are displayed on this screen. I will be happy to share, because whatever we are today, it is only because of the institute. Because of the institute, we are there. We have all respect, we have all knowledge, we have all growth. So whatever we desired and whatever we deserved, because of the chartered accountancy certificate, we got more than both what we desired and more than both, more than what we deserved. So I always have a gratitude for the institute, and everyone should have a gratitude for the institute, that all these things are knowledge sharing is also there only in our profession. So liberally we share the knowledge and feel happy about it. I'm thankful to the CP committee of the institute and all the participants for just giving me this opportunity and giving a patient hearing and good participation in question and answers. Thank you, and thank you once again.
We thank you, sir, for enriching
Yes,
us with valuable insights on
thank
the
you.
cases about assessment procedure for search and seizure, and answering all the questions of our 800 participants who have joined in this
Very nice.
webinar, registered in the webinar. So
Very
thank you, sir,
nice.
for your time and efforts
Right.
in this.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request our next speaker for today's evening, CA Gayatri Gupta ma'am. She has been guiding newly qualified chartered accountants and college students in interview preparations, mentoring over 1,000 CA freshers on behavioral interviews since 2020. She has served as a guest faculty, teaching subjects such as economic laws, cost accounting, auditing, industrial and labor laws, as well as risk management. Additionally, she has authored 20 plus articles on the topics such as motivation, banking, and direct taxes, with her online publications gathering over 2.5 lakh views. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aman, for introducing me. And thank you, CP Committee, for having me as a speaker today. So, today's topic is artificial role of artificial intelligence for chartered accountants. So, artificial intelligence is definitely one of the most talked and much needed topics. Uh, so, I would like to quote one incident. Last week, I was in Hyderabad, and at the same time, let me share my screen. Yeah. So last week I was in Hyderabad, so I met one of the senior CAs, and what he told me, I would like to share it with you all. He told that there was a recent interview with the president of ICAI, and a question was asked to the president, sir, that do you think AI is going to replace chartered accountants? To answer this question, our respected President Sir gave a very witty response. He said that there would be never be a time when AI is going to replace chartered accountants, but definitely chartered accountants with the knowledge of AI will replace all those chartered accountants who do not have the knowledge of artificial intelligence. So this speaks a volume about the importance of AI and the importance of upgrading ourselves with the time. Okay. So Aman, I would request you to be with me throughout the session, as I want
Sure,
the
ma'am.
session to be interactive.
I'll keep on posting the questions.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That will be of a great help to me. And yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Aman, have you ever wished of a personal assistant who could, who could execute all the boring tasks of your life, like, drafting an email, replying to an email, or writing a letter, writing an article on our behalf? Yeah, we all wish to have such an assistant, and because we being professionals and we are in such a area, we are the professionals where we make a lot of changes every other day. So we definitely require a personal assistant, and there's the great news that artificial intelligence is going to be that assistant, right? And unlike human beings, it doesn't even need coffee breaks. It is going to be at a request all the time, be it any odd hours, be it night time or daytime. So it is going to be there. So today we are going to dive into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence. And don't worry, this is not going to be one of those sessions where I'm going to bombard you with any technical jargon, but we will collectively explore how AI is working at the back end to make our life easy, to make our life more efficient and productive. So let's get started. Let us quickly let us quickly see what I'm going to cover in today's session. We'll be talking about various AI tools like ChatGPT, and we'll be talking about prompt engineering, Llama Coder, Claude, Merlin, ChatGPT, and then we'll be discussing about Gemini, Otter and Fireflies, Perplexity, Gamma, Mind Map, Extract Data Table, and various other things which are not written right now. So, what comes to our mind when we talk about artificial intelligence? I believe that no, one image that comes to our mind is ChatGPT. So how come ChatGPT has become synonymous with artificial intelligence? Because ChatGPT is one of the first known GPTs uh, that has come to our knowledge. And am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. There was some. Yeah, so coming back to this topic. So ChatGPT is one of the first known GPTs to the world, and it is enjoying that first mover advantage, and it will continue to do so till any other GPTs take it over. So what exactly is GPT? GPT is generative pre-trained transformer. Generative means it is able to generate output on the basis of input, and it is pre-trained. It has been pre-trained on the basis of large amount of data that we have fed into it, and that large amount of data has been fed in the form of different articles, different websites, different books. So those data has already been fed to the ChatGPT, and it is able to understand that data and analyze the data, and very well understand the pattern and structure of the data to provide you the required outcome or required response. And then it is transformer. Transformer means that it is able to communicate you with you in human like language, not the machine like language. So that is what a GPT means, generative pre-trained transformer. And it has been trained, and it is able to understand and provide you the contextual understanding. And it has been trained with the help of multiple use cases, and it gives the customized responses. Like if there are 100 CAs in this webinar today, and they are going to ask the same question to ChatGPT, so there is high probability that it will give you different answers, right? So meaning it may have the similar points, but it is the language may be different. The the construction of the sentence may be different. So why it is different? Because its memory gets updated every single time. So that is why it is providing the customized responses. Like for
Excuse me,
example,
ma'am.
it
Sorry to interrupt you. Your
uh,
voice is bit uh, not coming
uh,
properly. Can you please be louder or keep the mic?
okay, I'll take care of it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Aman, can you confirm what is visible on the screen?
Ma'am, screen is visible.
Okay,
What
that
is
GPT
ChatGPT?
is visible. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was telling you that it gives the customized response, and it is it is based on API based deployment. Now, talking about ChatGPT and prompts, we understand that ChatGPT works on prompts. And what exactly a prompt is? Prompt is a request that you are placing before ChatGPT. Prompt is a instruction that you are placing before ChatGPT. So these prompts are the magical lines of text that unlock its vast potential, and we understand what prompt is to be given, but we are yet to explore how that prompt is to be constructed, how that prompt is to be framed. You can understand that prompt as like a genie. Right? Instead of rubbing a lamp, you just have to type your request. And if your request would be clear, it would be clear and detailed, your response would be clear. But at the same time, if your request or if your prompt is vague, then definitely your answer is going to be vague. Moving ahead, the prompts can be used for summarizing the data. We can ask ChatGPT to summarize any article, because there are a lot of lengthy notifications coming every other day, and budget is also scheduled for the next month. So we can ask ChatGPT to summarize that data, and we can also define the word limit. We can ask ChatGPT to summarize the key takeaways of this article in under 100 words. And summarization.
Ma'am is connecting shortly. Requesting you to please wait.
Yeah. So ChatGPT can be used for summarization. We can ask ChatGPT to summarize any article in under 100 words, or we can also define the word limit. Now there are three methods we can provide. We can choose from at ChatGPT. We can ask ChatGPT to provide the summary, and we can simply copy and paste the entire article, and it will provide you the response. Secondly, we can do, we can provide the PDF to ChatGPT, and we can ask ChatGPT to summarize that PDF. It will do so. And thirdly, what we can do, instead of copying and pasting the article, instead of uploading the PDF, we can simply ask ChatGPT to summarize the article and simply paste the link of that article into ChatGPT. So I have attached a screenshot of the same. Uh, I have given the prompt, summarize the key takeaways of this article in under 100 words, and I have simply pasted the link of that article. So what ChatGPT has responded me with, it has responded me with the summary of that article within 100 words. Then I can also ask it to provide me the compliance calendar for the month of November 2024, or for any month, for the, let's just say for the month of January 2025. So it will provide me the compliance calendar for that respective month. Then I can also ask it to provide the income tax updates or any GST related updates for any particular month. And like if I have to find out the updates for any income, for example, if I have to find out the income, hmm. So if I have to find out any income tax update, so what I'll do? I'll definitely
Ma'am, your video is stuck. You would be rejoining. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry for the confusion interruption. So, so I have listed few prompts which you can just to ChatGPT. You can ask it to provide the income tax update for the respective month and it will provide you. So, and like if you need any income tax update or GST related updates, you need not to go through the website and search every single article. You can simply give it a prompt that I need income tax updates for this respective month and just need to write the name of that particular website and it will provide you the result. Then there can be prompts for better and simplified explanation. Like there may be a topic which is too critical for you, too complicated for you to understand. Like there may be any section or there may be any topic in any subject, so which you're not able to understand or comprehend. So what you can do, you can instruct ChatGPT that explain this concept to me as if I am a 10-year-old. So like I have written this prompt over here that explains safe harbor rules and transfer pricing concepts in the simple terms as if I were a 10-year-old. So if I place this prompt into ChatGPT, it is definitely going to provide me suitable answer. We can take a demo over here. So now I have pasted this prompt into ChatGPT. So if you analyze, when I instructed ChatGPT to explain this concept to me as a 10-year-old, so how it started its response, it says, let's imagine you have a lemonade stand and now you are selling lemonade in two places, one in your neighborhood and other in your cousin's neighborhood far away. So what I meant to convey to you that when you are giving it a prompt to explain it to you in its most simplified manner, so it is narrating a story to explain this concept to you, right? And if I give a prompt to ChatGPT to explain this complicated safe harbor rules and transfer pricing concept in the technical language, as if you are explaining it to a chartered accountant, then its response would be different, as if I were a chartered accountant. So you can see the difference in the response, and that's how you can make the most out of ChatGPT by constructing your prompts in different ways. Moving ahead, then we can also ask ChatGPT that to draft a itinerary for you if you're planning a visit to any place. You can also ask ChatGPT to draft a thank you email for your colleague. So there are endless opportunities for which ChatGPT can be used. Moving ahead, we talk about ChatGPT and metros. So, Aman, can you tell me which one tool is being widely used by chartered accountants out there? be them in practice or be them in job?
ChatGPT only.
ChatGPT, that is AI tool, but I'm asking about any tool which is other than AI. So which is being used by everyone out there, almost everyone, not even
Google.
chartered accountants. So
It might be Google.
it might be Google, yeah. So I was actually indicating towards Excel. So Excel is a tool which is being widely used by chartered accountants or everyone out there, right? So working on Excel is definitely very convenient and easy. But working on an Excel workbook with multiple sheets might be difficult at times, right? Why? Because navigating through all these sheets may lead to a situation where you're losing track of which sheet you are working on or whether this workbook has that particular sheet or not, right? So let me demonstrate it with the help of an example and how we can combat this problem. So this is a file which I've downloaded from Optotech software. So it contains the GST details. It has many multiple sheets, B2B, B2B only, invoice wise, B2B amendment, PDNR, and so on. So when you're working on Excel, there is no end to the sheets you can add into your Excel workbook. There may be 20 sheets, there may be 30 sheets, 50 sheets, 80 sheets. And searching through these sheets may become difficult. So how I'm going to combat this problem? I can make a table of content in the starting so that navigation becomes easy for me. And how I'm going to do this, I'm going to create that table of content. I'm going to write the name of all the sheets and I'll attach the hyperlink to that respective sheet so that navigation becomes easy for me. So if I make this table of content and I have around 5 to 6 sheets, then also it's not a problem. But if I have around 20 sheets, 30 sheets, and making a table of content will become a time consuming activity in itself. Right. So what I would suggest you to write a VBA code for it. Now, I am a chartered accountant. I'm not a coder. So how I'm going to write a code for myself, for this situation? What I can do, I can instruct ChatGPT to write a VB code for me. So just uh, let us see how ChatGPT is going to respond to this. Coming to ChatGPT, and now I have asked it to write a VBA code for me. So a VBA code is ready, and it has also instructed me how it is going to work for me. So what I need to do, I need to copy it. I need to go to my Excel. I need to go to Alt F11, and then I will go to Insert Module and simply press F5. So you can see how this table of content is prepared in one go. It must have taken me just 1 to 2 minutes and my work is done. I can easily surf through these Excel sheets by creating this table of content. And now this is not just limited to creation of any table of content. You can use VBA for number of options out there, right? So you need not to be a coder. You need not to learn any coding language in order to be in order to explore this VBA. Then moving ahead, we have another tool. It is Llama Coder. Aman, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So Aman, have you heard about this Llama Coder?
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell me what we use Llama Fodder for?
For making programs, websites,
Yes, it is used
I
for
did it in the
creating.
artificial intelligence course of ICI.
Right, right. So we can go to Llama Coder, and the best part is we can go to Google and search Llama Coder. You can ask Llama Coder uh, to generate code for you, and like I have used the Llama Coder to generate the income tax calculator for me, or I can use it for creating any sort of calculator like GST late fee calculator, income tax calculator, ROC calculator. So here is a prompt which I have given to it. And I've already tried it this morning, so I can show you what prompt I have given to Llama Coder. I have asked it uh, to generate an income tax calculator considering all acts of income as per the Income Tax 1961 and deductions allowed under old regime and also new regime. And also please mention the assessment year for which it is relevant. And then it has provided me the result. Yeah, you can see here that it has generated an income tax calculator with all the heads of income, salary, house, property, capital gain, business income, other income, and also it has all provided me the reduction regime, whether I fall under old regime or new regime, so I can select that option as well. And then I have the option for which assessment year I'm calculating my income. And also it gives me the option to modify my prompt. I can ask it, I want to generate the calculator for assessment year 2024-2025. So it will modify this calculator accordingly. And one more thing you need to remember that the this Llama Coder tool is providing you the code and also the end result. So you can copy this code and you can copy and paste this code into your own website. You can embed this code into your own website. So within matter of seconds, my income tax calculator is ready, and I can also share it. Once I'll share it, it will become a web page in itself, and it will be there on internet forever. Anyone can access it. So if you have your multiple clients and if they have multiple queries, so which income would be taxable, how much tax would I have to pay on this particular amount of income, so you can share the link to your client of this income tax calculator, or even if you are making any GST late fee calculator. So that is going to be a very handy tool for you. Then we have another tool, which is Claude AI. What Claude AI is used for? Claude AI is similar to ChatGPT, but it is used for data analysis. What we can do, we can upload financial statements of any company over here, and we can ask this tool to analyze those financial statements. Like this is linked to the financial statements of Tata Steel. Now I can ask it analyze the financial statements of Tata Steel and also give ratio analysis. So I've simply attached this PDF and given a prompt to this tool, Claude AI, and it will give me these suitable results. So it has provided me with key financial highlights. It has talked about revenue and profitability. It has talked about segment performance. It has talked about balance sheet items, and it has also provided me with the ratio analysis. And uh, no, since I'm using the free version of this Claude AI, so it is providing you the limited information. But if you use paid version, it will also give you very visually appealing, wonderful charts. So this tool is very handy if you want to analyze financial statements of any big company or even financial statements of your client or any client who is coming to you for the first time and you want to understand in his history. So you can use this tool. It will be very helpful for you. Then moving ahead, there is another tool which is Merlin. Merlin is So we are done with it. So Merlin is it is not any website, but it is a browser-based extension. So let me show you how Merlin would be helpful for you. Merlin is a browser-based extension. You will have to add it to your browser, and then you'll see that the Merlin would be activated on different and various websites. It will help you in email drafting. It will help you in comment posting. So let us quickly see how we can use Merlin and make our work easier. You need to type Merlin, Chrome extension, and this is how you can add Merlin to your Chrome. And once it is added, it will ask few questions to you. So we have Merlin here. Now, this is its logo. If I go to my LinkedIn, I see any post, no, it is adding, nothing added. Moment, it is not added. Yes. So I have added Merlin to my, I have added this extension to my Chrome browser, and now it is activated. So you can see it gets activated on various websites. Here is my LinkedIn profile, and here I see any post. So although LinkedIn also suggests few responses on various posts, like if I can write congratulations over here, but what Merlin is helping with me, it is suggesting whether you want to write a positive reply or thoughtful reply, curious reply. So it is an embedded AI, it's an embedded GPT, which will be activated on different websites. Like if I say positive reply. So it will write 3 to 4 lines and I can, go ahead with it. So instead of adhering to these boring lines, the one-liners, you can draft a very good reply to on someone's post. Or also, it Merlin would be helpful if you write a post of your own. For example, here it is suggesting whether I want to write a post on thought leadership or company updates, personal milestone. So it is giving me the suggestions. Also, I can create any any post on any topic like advantages of social media. So you can analyze that I need not to go to any other website, but since I have added Merlin to my Chrome, so it is providing me the option over here itself. So I just give it a prompt that you write an article or write a post on advantages of social media, and it has constructed a very good post for me. What I can do, I can write this one and attach a suitable image and then post it. So this how I can grow my LinkedIn. This how I can also draft an email. So if I go to Gmail, Merlin would be activated there as well. And I can simply instruct Merlin to write with 2 to 3 lines that draft an email regarding this. That I have to, I have to remind my customer, I have to remind my clients about the payment, and it will draft a very good email for me. So Merlin and cider, you can see on my on this on my screen that there is one more logo which is there. It is cider. So cider is also a Chrome-based extension which can be which you can add, and it also works on Chrome. So so far we have talked about ChatGPT, we have talked about different prompts, then table of contents, Llama Coder, Claude, Merlin, and then we have a very interesting tool which is Gamma. Gamma is about creating a very good looking PowerPoint presentation. So what you can go to Gamma, and then you can create a very good presentation. You can simply write that I want a presentation on artificial intelligence. And okay, going back, it gives you 3 options: paste in text, generate and import file, or URL. So paste in text means that you have the text available with you. You can simply paste it over here, and it will generate a PPT over from that text. And then we have the option of generate. Generate, just we have to tell that I want a PPT on this particular topic. So generate a PPT for me on this. And then I have the third option that I have any PDF or I have any file, I have any Word file or any URL. So it can generate your PPT based on that file or URL. So we can, for demonstration purpose, you can try this generate option. Let us try it. Generate a PPT on use of artificial intelligence. And here you can see it is asking you how many cards. Card means slides you want to have in your PPT. 8 cards, 9 cards. So 9 cards, and default. It is default means the size of PPT, the ratio of your slide which you want to have. It can be in traditional, it can be tall as well. Then language, English, US. So it is providing you the option of multiple languages. So generate outline. So it has provided the outline that there will be 9 slides, and these slides will be about power of AI, what is AI, applications of AI in everyday life, in healthcare, AI in finance, transportation, education, future of AI, and conclusion. And then it also provides us the option what type of data we want to have on each slide, whether we want it to be brief, we want it to be medium, or we want it to be detailed, right? So we want medium amount of data to be written on our PowerPoint presentation. Then AI images, we want web images or AI generated images. So there is the option to select this as well. Stock photos, web images, AI images, illustration, animated GIF. So you can go with anything. So if you go for animated GIF, so primary button, secondary button, we can go then wait for, we can select the theme from here and so you see how my PowerPoint is being generated and it has it means it's generated in the same way as I've instructed it. I wanted GIFs to be on each slide, so they have inserted GIF like AI in finance sector. So there is a girl with money. So suitable GIFs are there, and of course I can edit it, edit any GIF also, any content also. Uh, the theme is also the one which I've selected. So my PPT is ready. So you can see how different tools are working here. Uh, like there was Cider also. So then I can also download it. I can share it and we can export to PDF to PowerPoint. So within matter of few minutes, I am able to generate a very good PPT and I don't have to surf through the content. I don't have to search for any GIS or any images. It's just I have instructed in any AI tool and it has done the work for me. So you can see it is working well with my MS PowerPoint also. And if you are using paid version of this tool, so definitely you can increase the number of slides uh, in your PPT. Moving ahead, we have other tools. We have Otter and Fireflies. Like I am into this meeting, and I want to no, this meeting is like this is one way only. I am communicating, and you are listening, and you are not able to communicate with me. You will just write your questions, and so this is one way. But at times we are in the meetings, like we are the director of some company, so we are into the meeting, right? So if we are instructed with the job to draft the minutes of a particular meeting, so how are we going to do it? So Aman, can you help me with this question? Am I audible, Aman?
Yes. Will be duplex conversation.
Yeah,
Wait.
the conversation. So uh, I am putting a situation before you that I am attending a meeting of a company and I am tasked with I'm given the task of writing the minutes of those meetings. So how I'm going to do it? Simply, I'll listen to everyone's conversation and write down everything, and then I'll type them up, and then we post it in a particular group or I'll mail them. Right. So there is a shortcut, or there is an artificial intelligence tool for this as well. Like I'm into this meeting with my name, is Jati Gupta. And there is one more tool, which is known as Otter and also Fireflies. So, Otter, I can show this to you, although we don't have the time that we can see the demonstration, but I can show this tool to you. The So Otter AI is there. What I can do, I can simply paste the meeting's URL over here, and there will be one addition into the meeting. Like if it is with my name, I'll be there, P. Gati Gupta, and there'll be one more person, Gati.ai, who will be listening to the entire conversation and who will be right, converting that conversation into a transcript and will provide me the minutes of that meeting. So Otter is very helpful tool for such situations where you want to draft the minutes or where you want to record everything into writing. Like Zoom provides you the option of recording. So you have the video available with you, you have the audio available with you. But if you want to have the text available with you, so you can go with this tool otter.ai or firefly.ai. So what's the difference between Otter and Fireflies is just that Otter is a free tool and Fireflies is a paid one. And of course, if you are paying for any tool, it gives you, some premium options. Like you can record a meeting for 400 minutes, 500 minutes, 1,000 minutes. So that limit gets extended with the paid version. Coming back, we have another tool which is mind map, and before going to that, let us talk about one more very interesting tool which is perplexity. Mm, so perplexity is there. So here is perplexity. Might have heard about this tool. So it is also, the interface is very much similar to ChatGPT. So what is the difference between ChatGPT and Perplexity? ChatGPT is providing you the response on the basis of input we have provided already to it. Right. So a set of instruction or set of data is already fed to ChatGPT. But Perplexity gives you more reliable results. Like if I say uh, article on pitfalls in applying IFRS 9. And if I give the same prompt to ChatGPT, let us see what is it is providing to me. We can compare. ChatGPT is also writing an article for me, and this Perplexity has also authored an article for me for the same on the same topic. Now, which one is more reliable? It is definitely Perplexity. I'll answer why it is so. Because Perplexity, it does not work on the or any pre-fed data. It is working. It is a search-based engine. It is analyzing the data which is available on different websites, and then it is providing you the result. It is also quoting the sources from where it is extracting the data. But however, such information is missing in ChatGPT. So ChatGPT works on pre-fetch data, whereas Perplexity is reliable as it is also telling you the sources. Also, ChatGPT can also tell you the source if you ask it. But Perplexity by default will provide you the source in every single case. So it has told that it has extracted the data from LinkedIn, Moody's, Credit Risk Score, and all in three other websites, and then it has drafted it this article on the concerned topic. So Perplexity is one such tool. So ChatGPT and Claude, from where we have analyzed the data or the financial statements of Tata Steel. So ChatGPT and Claude, they are working on the data which we have already provided to it. Whereas Perplexity is more like a search-based engine. It provides you the sources from where it is extracting the data, and then it gives you the answer. Then we have another tool which is Dante. It is going to be very interesting. Dante AI. So far, we have understood that what ChatGPT is, what Perplexity is, Claude is, this Gamma is, but Dante is different. Dante helps you to create your own chatbot. It is helping you to create your own GPT. So let me quickly show it to you. Mm. Going to be the last one from my side. Mm. Mm. Okay, I think since we are short on time, so yeah, so we want to create an AI chatbot for all, and I want a chatbot on Consumer Protection Act, let us say. So there can it you can create a chatbot on any particular topic. In like you want to create your own chatbot on based on income tax act. You want to create your own chatbot on GST or anything. So I picked this Consumer Protection Act. What I need to do, I need to feed a data to it, a reference file to it. Uh, so I want a chatbot that sounds formal. So Consumer Protection Act, and now I have also uploaded the file. And finally, a chatbot will be created. So it simply means like you work on ChatGPT. So similarly, we can create our own ChatGPT based on the information we provide to this AI chatbot. Hmm. So this chatbot is ready, Consumer Protection Act. So anything I want to ask about Consumer Protection Act can be asked from this chatbot. I can ask define consumer. So it will provide me the result. So it will entertain all the questions which are related to this Consumer Protection Act, and it will provide me the answer. So that's how we have you must have heard about CAGPT. So CAGPT gives you there are different options like you can ask questions related to audit, you can ask questions related to companies. So this how that chatbot is created. It is through such applications only that you can create your own chatbot by uploading your files, your own files, and that's how it can be. It can entertain only those queries which are related to that particular file. And since I'm using this trial version, so I there is a limitation on the size of file I can upload here. But if you use paid version, of course, the limit will enhance. So that's how the chatbot can be created. So let us quickly have a recap of what we have covered. And since there were technical glitches in the beginning, so let me just reshare what we have done. So we have understood the meaning of chat GPT basically, and then we have understood how chat GPT is working. And then we have understood about different prompts, how we can frame a prompt, like it can be used for summarization. We can summarize the article, and we can also define the word limit. We can ask the chat GPT to summarize any PDF. We can, of course, no, upload, we can upload any PDF into chat GPT and ask for a summary of it. Then we can also ask for any summary or any result or any response in Hindi language also or English. So English and Hindi language. Then we have attached the screenshot of the same. Then you can also ask for any compliance calendar, Feb month is coming. So you want to have a compliance calendar for your staff. So you can instruct ChatGPT to provide you the compliance calendar. Then you can ask, for income tax updates or any GST updates, ROC updates. You need not to, be very, you need not to be very detailed about it. You can get the reference of any particular website. You can say that I want all the ROC related updates from the website of MCA for the period of November to December. So, like you are stuck in a particular case of your client, and then you want to have reference, you want to have the no a reference to any notification. So you can also instruct ChatGPT that I want all the summary of all the notifications which were issued between 2022 to 23, and it can provide you a summary for the same. Then next we have also seen other prompts uh, there's how we can use ChatGPT for simplified explanation of anything. In this, we have taken the example that you can ask ChatGPT to explain any concept to you, like you are explaining to a very small kid. So it will help you with it. And it can also provide you with responses if you ask it to provide the response in a technical language or to experienced person. Then, yeah, this prompt we missed on. You can also ask or it like if you want to set up an income tax law practice in Allahabad High Court or anywhere, so it can give you a comprehensive guidance. So, uh, if we talk about CAGPT, so CAGPT is more like it's a part of ChatGPT only. Uh, so you can ask ChatGPT or CAGPT that draft an audit program for me. Okay. So draft an audit program for this particular industry, how need to start with the audit of this. So you can use ChatGPT for endlessly. There are endless options for which ChatGPT can be used. Summing up further, let me quickly take you through. Then, of course, for email drafting, we have already seen ChatGPT can be used, Merlin can be used, Cider can be used, and then for it can also assist you with your drafting or planning in your drafting your travel plans or itinerary, uh, be it domestic or international. So it has personally it has helped me a lot with these things. Then we have discussed about macros, how ChatGPT or any other tool, for that matter, Claude, can be used for creating macros in Excel. So in this, we have seen that how to navigate through different Excel sheets in a workbook. So for that, we have created this. I can show you for the table of content within 2 minutes. Then we have talked about Merlin. It is helping us with LinkedIn comment posting. It is also helping us in email writing and of course in LinkedIn post creation. Then Claude AI. So for Claude AI, we use for analyzing the analysis of financial statements. So we have simply what we did. We simply uploaded our PDF to Claude AI, and it has generated a beautiful summary of it. And also sometimes it also provides us with the with charts and graphs also. Then CAGPT, it is I need to tell you this that recently ICAI has uploaded the data of 5,000 companies or over CAGPT. So you can use it and you can use it to analyze different ratios of different companies. So CAGPT is now very much advanced. You must use it. And then we have, besides this, we have also talked about Llama Coder, where we have learned how we can create income tax calculator, GST late fee calculator. And then we have talked about Otter, Firefly, we have talked about Perplexity. So there are various other tools also. But since we are short on time, so we have covered these handpicked tools in today's session. So that was all from my side. If you have any questions, so I'd be happy to answer them. And I'm really sorry for the technical glitches we faced in the beginning. So
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions that you want to ask? We'll wait for 2 minutes for questions.
are there any questions, someone?
No questions right now. Only they are asking for PPTs.
Okay, so I'll share this PPT with the team.
You cleared their doubts on this seminar, by the seminar.
Okay, so I'll share my PPT to the team, and if they have any platform where they can share my PPT with the viewers, so they can definitely share it my PPT also and Hari's PPT also.
So we thank you all. Thank you, ma'am, for enriching us with your valuable insights on artificial intelligence and amazing tools, and recapping our or compiling all the important tools for us. Now I would like to conclude the session. I would like to extend heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speakers for sharing their insights and expertise and providing us with valuable insights about the topics. A special thanks to all the participants for active engagement and thought provoking questions, which made this session more enlightful. Let us continue to learn, adopt, and grow together. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seek you all your presence in future session. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.